Hey there, I am Karen Witham-Walsh of Karen's Pots and Glass, and this video is going to feature using two different clay bodies that are high contrast, marbling the clays together, and then creating a pinch bowl to feature that marbled clay. My two clay bodies that I'm using are a white clay, which is Laguna B Mix. This is a cone 5 or cone 6 clay. It is grogless, so it's super smooth. And my black clay is Pottery Supply House 540i, or they sometimes refer to it as PSH 540i, which means it's been stained with iron oxide, not manganese. I do not want to use a manganese clay for safety in my ceramic studio at my high school. So I wedge these clays up to get them a nice even consistency. Once they are wedged up, then I'm going to add them together. So I'm taking about what is that? A 3-to-1 ratio, 3 parts of the white to 1 part of the black. I honestly just give it like maybe 5-6 turns of wedging. So I divide it into 3 parts. I'm going to sandwich. So you can see I've got the black there. I'm going to sandwich in between. And then now that it's all sandwiched, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I did 9 rotations there, 9 little rotations, just enough to create a little bit of a spiral. So I sandwich, 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 sandwich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so 10 and a half maybe rotations. Just enough to kind of get them to swirl together ever so slightly. Okay. Now, to create the pinch bowl, I'm going to create it into a ball. This is the same way that I would create any sort of a pinch bowl. Start with my thumb in the middle, and I pinch the bottom first. If I have lots of videos on pinching forms, you can check out some other videos. I will link them in the video description. I'll try to link some right here. But you always want to pinch the bottom first, as you can reach around with your fingers on the exterior, and then rotate it and work your way up the walls. For my kids, I recommend that you keep your thumb on the inside because they have a lot more control. Now, I'm keeping the bottom rounded as I do this. That helps to keep the form a little bit more narrow. If I want to make it more narrow, I can squeeze it in from the sides. I'm making sure that I don't have any thick corners on this because this one I'm not going to be able to really clean like I would clean a regular clay pinch bowl, because if I use a shredder, I'm going to lose all my design on it. So here I am just using a rib just to kind of smooth out some of my largest lumps. Whenever you are ribbing, you want to keep your hand on the opposite side of the wall. Now, the reason that I'm doing this on the exterior is I'm actually going to be cutting the exterior of the clay. So if I've muddled my marbled pattern a little bit, it's not going to be as important because I am going to be cutting off the muddled part. Now, one thing I would like to mention here is using scraps of clay for marbled pinch pieces is awesome, because when you take those scraps of clay and wedge them together with a pinch form, it's easier to use scraps with pinch than it is with slabs, because they do get a little more muddled and messed up with slabs. So as I work this, I'm just trying to, again, take off the worst of the denting. I can get it fairly even with the pinch method, with my fingers on the inside, thumb on the outside, but this really does help to even it out just a little bit more. So my goal ultimately is I want my walls an even thickness. I would estimate maybe a little bit thinner than a pinky. Making a conventional pinch bowl, I usually say pinch like as thick as a pinky, but in this case maybe a little bit thinner, because again, I'm not going to be using a shredder on this. I am just trying to smooth it on the day that I am forming it. And I'm just going to speed up this last little bit here, just tweaking a little bit more, trying to get a little thinner with my walls, so it's thinner than a pinky now at this point. And again, just smoothing it. Before I get it leather hard, I want to have that form nice and uniform. I want it to be even, the curves even. So, you know, the bottom is centered and we have a nice interior curve and the outside walls are matching that. I want my walls to be even. It should not be getting thicker as it goes down near the base. Because a thick base on a pinch pot is always problematic with it drying without cracking. So it should be, everything should be even, sides and walls. Okay, now that it's leather hard, this is what I was, so I did set it aside and I allowed it to get leather hard. Now I'm just carving in some texture. By carving in a texture, what you're doing is you're cutting through the top layer, revealing the underneath layers, and this is where you can really make the marbling design kind of come alive. Now you want to have a sharp tool with this when you're doing this when it's leather hard, and that will give you a nice clean texture. If you do use a dull tool, or if your clay is a little on the soft side, you're going to get some smears, and that's what I want to avoid. So you can see here, oh, I'm just scraping a little bit more, it looks like. So here where I'm scraping it, now that it's leather hard, I can scrape off some of my muddled area that I had, and that's revealing that nice marbled clay that I had on the interior. So this is a stainless steel scraper. It's a mud tool scraper, and I have those linked in the video description, but that creates a nice crisp design for my interior. Now I'm leaving my edge a little wavy, and I'm going to sculpt the edge to get a nice uniform thickness with a homemade rib that I made. I make these ribs just out of old cards, like an old hotel key or something like that, and I just cut notches in it. I do have a video on how I cut that if you wanted to see, but that crisp edge of that cut edge, it will sculpt the clay and it'll remove the leather hard bits of clay. And again, I'm just leaving this bowl a little bit more organic, a little bit wavy. Another great way to do the edge, I find, is using a vegetable peeler. You could use a vegetable peeler, just go along there and sculpt it. It cuts your edge nicely, and it preserves, again, the marbling. My goal is not to smear the marbling, but to preserve the marbling. So there we have a wavy edged pinch bowl. This I would fire and I would clear glaze it. Once it's been bisque fired, I would use clear to help preserve the marbling. You could use a Celadon, which has a transparent quality to it. But with the black and white, I usually like the contrast, and I usually just do a clear. So I'm making a slight indent right there in the center bottom, adding a few more texture pieces to the sides, and the divot in the bottom is so it won't rock. So there we go. There is my pinch bowl that was marbled.